From a popular luxury resort, a body is heading home in a coffin. From the very first scene, Season 1 told us something had gone terribly wrong, but what began as a vacation slowly becomes a psychological unraveling, where appearances dissolve, privilege becomes a weapon, and beneath every smile is rot. Each guest arrives in paradise, but they bring more than luggage. They bring emotional fractures, power struggles, and deep denial. Armand, the resort manager, is the face of calm, a recovering addict who believes in control, until that control is tested again and again. The Mossbatcher family is successful on paper, but every dinner reveals fractures. Mark feels emasculated. Nicole clings to certainty. Their daughter Olivia and her friend Paula. Quinn is a teenage boy ignored by his family. There's Shane and Rachel, newlyweds, but already fractured by imbalance. She's unsure of her future. He's only concerned with a hotel booking error. Then there's Tanya, grieving, alone, seeking peace, but unable to distinguish comfort from control. Belinda, the spa manager. Mark and Nicole has a conversation about his health and about Mark not having time for his kids, his son. Soon enough, Mark starts to make time and enjoys diving with his son just because he thinks he is about to die. Upon multiple reflections about life, Mark later realizes he's not dying soon. Small moments begin to split open. Shane cannot let go of his perceived injustice over a room. He pushes Armand. Then he pushes harder. The hotel manager begins to unravel. Rachel tells him not to worry about it, but he constantly kept on disturbing Armand for the suite he chose until he got a settlement, which made him even more furious. With Armand, Rachel, his wife, realizing she's not a serious journalist. Her gradual awareness that marrying in a Shane's world has killed her ambition is key to her downward spiral. Belinda is the most emotionally intelligent character in the show. She listens. She empathizes. She holds space for Tanya's chaos. But she's also exhausted. Tanya slowly pulls away from Belinda as Greg enters the picture. Tanya invites Belinda to dinner, to massages, to drinks. Then, slowly begins to ghost her because of Greg. When Tanya hands her a wad of cash at the end, after failed promises of setting up a standard spa brand as joint partners, there is no confrontation. Just silence. Olivia and Paula bring their stash to Hawaii. Under the noses of their progressive but clueless parents, they searched everywhere, but were smart enough to guess someone from the resort took it, but not clever enough to avoid looking suspicious. And Arnold gets to start using again, and making really bad decisions, using the drug as an escape from reality. Meanwhile, Armand, now completely off the rails, starts clashing with Shane, the entitled honeymooner. Armand completely losing control of his boundaries, both as a manager and a sober man, and gives into his addictions and urges. Paula is Olivia's best friend, but she's also not from the same world. Her discomfort isn't just political, it's personal. Her relationship with Kai is not just attraction. It's an attempt to connect to something real in a place built entirely on artifice. Olivia suspects Paula is hiding something and begins to become increasingly passive. Their friendship, which began as woke solidarity, deteriorates under hidden resentment and complicity. When she encourages Kai to rob the Mossbatchers, she thinks she's being rebellious, but what she's really doing is trying to balance a system through a single act of misguided justice. They decided to steal a necklace of her friend's mom, which is worth a fortune, to set up his life after they leave. He makes a move for the neck piece, but gets caught up in a suite with Olivia's mom. After she decided not to follow the family after an emotional conversation with her husband, who runs after his wife. The resort worker then attacks Olivia's mom in a bid to escape, but gets resisted by Olivia's father during the robbery. Good intentions collide with bad outcomes, and the consequences fall hardest on the person with the least protection as Kai gets caught. Nicole forgives Mark after the robbery and says she feels closer to him. Their marriage had a strange rebirth after a trauma that came at someone else's expense. Armand's spiral ends not with word, but with impulse. He breaks into Shane's suite in a final act of recklessness. What happens next is not premeditated, but it is irreversible. In a moment of fear or rage, Shane stabs blindly through the door. On the other side is Armand. The man who tried to hold it all together is now the man in the coffin.